Welcome to this video about connecting a Blue Open Studio runtime to a Rockwell Allen Bradley Micro800 series PLC using Modbus. Okay. So the first thing we'll take a look at is the PLC. So you can see I am in the programming software for the Micro820. This is Connected Components Workbench. Okay, you can see I have a Micro820 PLC. And you can see what I have is I have a small little program. I have a list of variables. Here's the discrete outputs, discrete inputs in the analog I/O. And then you could see I have a set of variables. And then here's all the system stuff in the standard variable list from an 820. Okay, and you could see I also have a little ladder logic program running in it just to turn some I/O on and off and adjust some timers, etc. Okay, so when it comes to using this PLC with Modbus, okay, I'm going to close that so I get some more room here. Okay, first thing we have to make sure that we do is under the Ethernet settings for the controller, we need to make sure that under the Modbus TCP setting that we have the server enabled. So essentially this is going to be a Modbus slave. Okay, and then you have the other Modbus mapping tab, and you can see I've already created a Modbus map in here with you can see with a bunch of items. You have the ability to, I believe, do 200 rows in this map, and I don't have 200. Okay. The other thing I want to point out is one thing that you'll notice is I have broken up the addressing to give space for future expansions. And then one other thing to note is, if possible, if you could put I'll make another video explaining a quirk that I found in the Modbus map, but just to get around that a little bit is I made sure that I put all my 32-bit variables that I wanted to map, I put them in the middle of the list, and then I have the end of the list is with integers. Okay, so that's what the Modbus map looks like. If I go back, okay, so here's the Modbus map that I just put to paper here in the PowerPoint presentation. And the items in yellow are the items that I'm going to bring into my small little starting project to begin with. Okay, so to begin to do that, so basically I have to get these variables. I want to keep the same name in Blue Open Studio, and I want to get their Modbus addresses into Blue Open Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Connected Components Workbench. And one of the things that you can do in the software is that you have this ability to export the variables. So when I go ahead and export the variables here, okay, it allows me to do it. I can do it as a CSV or as a native XLS file. I'm just going to do it as a regular CSV. I'm just replacing the file that's already there. Okay, if I want to view the file, okay, and this is what you get. Okay, all right. So you can see I've got some stuff out here that I'm not necessarily interested in. Oops, don't want to do that. I'll get rid of these two first rows. I don't need that. I don't need this either. Okay. All the columns. And again, if you could see, if I go back to my PowerPoint, okay, you could see that I have some work to do. The order that these came into this list was not exactly lining up with what I need to do here. So stay tuned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up this list to leave me with just the stuff that I'm interested in. Okay, so now you could see I've adjusted that list into the stuff that I'm interested in. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm using this as a copy source to get it into Blue Open Studio. So now I'm going to go back look back into Blue Open Studio. If I look at what the tag list looks like, you can see it's got the tag name, an array size, and the data type. And I want to take note of what the data types look like here because I want to maintain that format. Okay. So here, obviously, I have the name, I have the data type. I need to insert a column for my array size, so I'll just make that 0. That's the way that's the format of Blue Open Studio, and this will be a copy and a paste. Okay, and then these will become to match the format. I'll just change them. These will need to become integers. The reals will work. That actually matches. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make a mass copy like this. Go back to Blue Open Studio, paste it, and everything looks like it came in okay. Okay. So now we need to create the driver sheet. So again, staying in Blue Open Studio, I'm going to go look at what the format of the driver sheet is, and we've got tag name, station, and I/O address. Okay, and this video is not going to talk about how to format these things. This video assumes you know how to do that. So here I've got my tag name in this field instead of the array now. This is going to be my station. So that's going to be the IP address of the PLC. Colon port number, station number. Okay, and again that will be copied and pasted because that'll be the same for every variable. Okay, and then this is going to be the I/O address field. So let me pull my PowerPoint back in. Okay, and you can see these HMI DI00 bypass. These are coils, right? So 0x200 through 211. That's how I have them in the map. So that's how I'm going to put them in. X colon 200 through 211. Okay. Start sequence is going to be a coil at 300. So 0x colon 300. Okay. Then the squeeze times are 4x's integers starting at 200. Just fill that in real quick. And then these are going to be the two reals. So the format for that is they're still holding registers, but you put an FP for floating point, colon 100. And this will be FP colon 102 because those take up 32 bits, 2 words. Okay. And then these last, the 5 additional outputs, those are coils starting at 100 through 104. Okay, so that should be able to populate my driver sheet. So I'll just again, let's do a mass copy, paste. Okay, and you can see everything filled in okay. I'll go ahead and close, save, close the driver sheet. And then I'll just add, I'm not going to make a screen, just going to come in here. I'll just add the current and maybe how about the well time. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll run the project, and you can see in my output window, it looks like all is okay. You can see I already have a value here in the target current. I'll go back to, say, the global variables. You can see I'm online. Okay. Here's my current. I'll change actual curve. Okay. Target current. I'll just put a value of, okay. Oops. Oops. I'll put 100.567. Something like that. And I think in my weld time setting, put 85. Okay. Go back to Open Studio, and we could see we've got the values. Okay. So thank you for watching.